Hi. Oh, Cunties, welcome. My name is Tiffany, and I am head cunty here at Cosmic Cunties. And today is probably going to be the most unhinged Cosmic Cunty episode that I've done. I am, if you're not watching on the YouTubes, excuse me, I am currently sitting in my bed. And I do have to say the lighting is better here, so that's great. I have not gone through and made any notes as to what's happening this week astrologically, so I am winging it. So bear with me, and I hope that this makes for a very wild ride. I'm not using my mic stand, so my wrists might start to hurt, but let's not worry about that, shall we? I have had a day. I mean, I don't even know if Mercury is still in its retrograde shadow period, but holy hell. And Chiron is currently conjunct my sun at 22 degrees Aries. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't cope. So stick with me. It's going to be a wild ride. It's going to be a different ride than what you're used to. And if you're new, I don't know if I'm happy or sorry that you are joining me on this episode for the first time. But I digress. This show, this podcast, this YouTube, this jolly good time is brought to you every week by moi, and my intention is to help y'all navigate the energies that be from the cosmos. And so I break it down day by day, letting you know kind of what I think is potentially going to happen, and you can use it as you see fit. And depending on where you're at and how these aspects affect your personal natal chart is going to be more than likely how you experience the specific transits that are happening. Yeah, and of course, if you're going through something, for example, if Venus is doing some major transiting and aspecting, and you are in a relationship and you are going through a monumentous time in your relationship, good or bad, you're going to be feeling those Venus transits more likely and more heavier than other people, if that makes sense. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't, but just know that the more that you are prepared with what's happening cosmically and energetically, the more that you can be prepared to show up as the best version of yourself, knowing what potentially could happen and having yourself ready for that. And also understanding why maybe things are happening in your life or why people are acting certain ways in your life. So just, just have fun with it. Whatever floats your boat. So today, December 8th, and we're going through until the 14th, this Sunday. Gosh, we are finishing this year strong, aren't we? Whoever is crawling to the finish line with me, I applaud you. If you are still here in 2025, mid-December, and you are crawling over this finish line, bloody hands and knees, whatever way you need to fucking get across this line, I commend you and I applaud you for getting through this Gregorian year, because the year astrologically isn't almost over yet. I hate to say it. We keep talking about how excited we are for the snake year to end and for the horse year to begin, which numerologically wise, I don't think that's a word. It is in the Gregorian calendar, sure. However, astrologically, the new year doesn't start till April, Aries season, and that's, timed with the seasons and timed with what's happening energetically. And I'm sure you guys can all feel it. And we're not meant to start anew and bust a nut on January 1st. That's for April or March rather. So with that being said, a lot of planetary transits, like the major ones that are going direct or moving forward and happening in 2026, really aren't starting to take place until February, March, April, and beyond. So either way, we are crossing that Gregorian calendar line in like 3 weeks. And all I can say is I'm proud of us if you're there. I don't even know if I'll be there. Okay, I think I've lost it. I think one flew over the cuckoo's nest and it's actually me. Okay, as I was saying, December 8th. The moon is going to trine Venus. So the moon on December 8th is in Leo. You might want to check your natal chart to see what house Leo is, because that's going to be kind of like the energy that you're feeling. So for me, Leo hits my 6th house. Was that correct? Oh, hell, I can't remember. Anyways, checking it to see kind of what the energy is that you're going to be feeling. So, yeah. That's what's going to help you most. But anyways, once I reach 50 subscribers, I am going to break this down by rising sign, or like the major transits that are happening planetary wise, like when, for example, Neptune goes direct or Saturn goes direct, for example. I'll be able to break it down rising sign because I'll have 50 subscribers. And so it'll be more beneficial for everybody. Anyhow, moon trining Venus. This is just like a highlight of like love, abundance. This is, feeling in our good emotions and just feeling loved up. But it's going to be depending on where you're at. Like, are you needing a little more self-love in the morning because it's happening at 11:55 a.m.? Are you feeling a little more lovey-dovey with your partner? It's good to utilize the energies that I'm speaking of to act in accordance with what's going on. So if if you're like, oh, I've been wanting to do this lately, well, something that aligns with you, doing that is when the cosmos are matching it. So with that being said, if you're like, oh, I've been wanting to like give myself self-love or self-pleasure or love on my partner, that's what you're going to be. It's going to feel easier for you to act upon that on Monday morning. This is what I'm trying to say to you. And then we've got, and so that'll be, what does that make that? Leo, Sagittarius. Where's Venus? How is that a trine with moon and Leo? Am I confused here? What's happening? There's no way that. Oh, okay. God, we are there, aren't we? We are in Sagittarius season. Wow. All right, guys, bear with me. My mind is getting wrapped around where we're at in the year. So this is fiery energy. This is, roar, look at me, Leo, but it's also, thinking of the bigger picture, thinking of having those deep philosophical talks with your partner, or those deep intuitive nudges or communications with yourself, your guides, or your partner. Truth-seeking conversations are supported. And then the big one that we have to deal with on Monday that's really fucked me up. Excuse my language, but wow. We've got Mars squaring Saturn. So Mars is in Sagittarius and it's squaring Saturn, which is in Pisces, and it officially went direct already. So it's like Saturn is the planet of karma and the planet of discipline and just the planet of like organization and making shit happen, but in a logical, orderly fashion. Like no chaos here, no BS here. And Mars is the planet of taking action. It's also the planet of conflict, and it's the god of war, and they're squaring each other. So it's like anything you're trying to get done or move forward, you are going to be experiencing blocks. And I know this is coming out probably late on the 8th, but this is a good reflection period of like, okay, what happened? If you're listening on Tuesday the 9th, I'm sure for most people, it's like, what happened yesterday for me? In what ways was I trying to move forward and I couldn't? Or was I being redirected? Or it just kept hitting my head against the wall? Or people kept telling me no? It's just like, if you don't have all of your ducks in a row, and for me, like you're not going, to me, what I have deciphered from this is I'm not going about these things in the right way, or these things are not in my highest interest. And so they're being kiboshed, they're being stopped despite me not knowing another way or another option or another even like place to stay. They're being stopped for a reason. And it's because it's in my highest interest, because whatever I need to do or whatever route the thing needs to go is going to be a better option for me in the long run. Whether it's, like for example, I paid someone to tow my trailer from Austin down to San Antonio. Time comes, he says he can't do it. I'm like, you have my money and you're not going to go get my trailer for me. And now I have to figure out how the fuck I'm getting my trailer out of the place that it's at and back to my house, and all of the issues that come with that. And so it's like, maybe I'm having to learn how to tow my own trailer and reverse it up a slope in my driveway. That's like about as wide as my trailer. So it's just, as much as you are allowed and can have your breakdown, you need to know it's also for the betterment of you and whatever that lesson is that you need to learn. And the only way that you can really fail at this is not looking at it and being like, why did this happen? Or what is this redirection? You need to figure out what your lesson is in the situation, or why you're being redirected, and take the redirection, like accept that as it is. And just period. Like there's nothing else I can say about that. It's a really it's been a really hard day for me. And I have heard from other people it's been a really hard day as well. I posted on my Instagram about it because Cosmic Cunties is delayed today. And so I posted about it, and it seems like other people are experiencing the same thing. And it may be in different genres or in different ways, and it may be different lessons, but I know I've learned my lesson tenfold. And the lesson here is choose you. Choose what's best for you, and believe in yourself and trust yourself. Okay, I digress. I am moving on to Tuesday the 9th. And so we've got the sun trining the moon trining Mars, the moon squaring Mercury, the moon squaring Uranus, and then eventually moon moving to Virgo from Leo. That's a lot to digest. That's for all the women or cunties, men, whatever, theys, thems, and gays that want to look and see, or want to know at least, like, okay, what actually is happening cosmically, and also how is it playing out? If you're just wanting to know the general energy, here it goes. So it's going to be an emotionally up and down day. We've got some support in taking action, but otherwise we're having a lot of friction and a lot of setback and a lot of confusion and a lot of jumbled mess and a lot of like shakeups when it comes to our emotional world. So Uranus loves to shake shit up. Mercury is our planet of communication. Mars is taking action. The sun trining the moon, it's highlighting us feeling good, but that's at 12:59 a.m. So we're basically going to be asleep during that part. Maybe some of us, I don't know. You do you, boo. But the moon doing these trines and squares between 4:06 p.m. and 9 p.m., which this is Pacific Standard Time. So let's change that to 6 to 11 p.m. You just might be feeling emotionally all over the place. Okay. And that's okay. Honestly, it's okay. As long as you allow yourself to feel the emotions, process the emotions, dance them out, whatever vices you have, hopefully it's not numbing out. Then yeah, you just let it go. Let it sail. Oh, I know. Leo's in my 4th house. I remember now. Okay, great. Anyways. And then we've got the moon moving into Virgo. So our inner emotions are moving a little bit more from that fiery energy, because we really are in fire season with the Sagittarius energy with all the planets, Mars, Venus, Sun, and Mercury. I also believe we might still be in Scorpio though. Or did it happen last week? No, Mercury moves into Sagittarius on the 11th. So, okay. So we're still maybe experiencing a little bit of spicy communication, deep communication, with Mercury in Scorpio. So that also could be what's happening on Monday. But anyways, I digress. The spicy communication can be coming forward on Tuesday as well. And then the moon moving into Virgo is going to ground us a little bit more, but it's also going to make us a little bit more anal, a little bit more, well, I want it this way and it's not this way. And it can like throw our emotions haywire. So just be aware of that. Be aware of where you're being a little bit stingy or a little bit strict, and maybe loosen it up a little bit. Yeah. Then we're going to move to Wednesday. So Wednesday's a pretty big day because Neptune is finally going direct. And we did experience Neptune going direct this year already and in a new sign. That's one of the major movements that's happening in 2026 is Neptune going direct in Aries, as well as Saturn going direct in Aries. Like I've been mentioning for months now, Saturn and Neptune are like the best friends at the party. When one goes, the other goes. That's what we're going to be experiencing for the next year to 2 years, I think. It depends on how fast they move with each other, or like in comparison to each other. But for right now, it's like when one goes, the other goes. So Saturn just went direct. Now Neptune is going direct. And so all of this internal Saturnian and Neptunian energy that we have been feeling, where we've been directing a lot of things inward, we're now going to be moving forward and directing it outward. So I've talked about Saturn going direct. Now it's Neptune going direct and Pisces. And so it is moving direct, and it's also working its way to go to Aries, which is the energy that we experienced earlier this year. It's the energy that we're moving into. And so Neptune being the dream planet, the illusions planet, the creation, the delusions, but I already said that. It's just like it's kind of like the planet that has the veil, and the veil has been internal. Like maybe you're seeing things not very clearly about yourself recently, or things about your own personal dreams you're not seeing clearly. You've kind of been maybe in la la land. It's now going direct. And so you're going to be able to start moving your dreams forward. The goal here is to not continue that delulu when you move it forward. It's to try to bring those dreams into manifestation. And with it being best friends with Saturn currently, Saturn is really helping bring those dreams to reality. So this outward energy, it's like we've been doing all this internal work and all this reflecting work. We've been really letting a lot of things go, shedding a lot of things. We're going forward now, and we're seeing how we want to bring our dreams to life. we're seeing ways in which we were preventing our dreams from coming alive. We're seeing ways in which maybe we're showing up and don't want to show up in that way, or we're not showing up and we want to show up more or better or differently. And so it's now being able to put those into action. So it's really, I think, beautiful. Like we're finally feeling that momentum forward. It's like the horses are at the gate and the horse realizes that the gate is getting ready to open. And so it's getting that surge of energy for forward momentum. It's kind of like where we're at. But time-wise, I mean, the gates still aren't going to open until, like I mentioned, February, March. And so it's just preparing us like, okay, we've, done that internal working. Now let's move it forward. And then on the same day, we have Mercury, which is in Scorpio, opposing Uranus and Gemini. So Scorpio and Uranus is all like that opposition or that axis that are facing each other and opposing each other. This is all about shakeups in our communication or struggles within our communication. But also when it comes to, Uranus is in Taurus. It was in Gemini. It's going back to Gemini, but it's in Taurus now. So it's that Taurus and Scorpio axis, and it's that opposition again of that communication and the shakeups of communication, or like the force field around communication or confusion or whatever it might be, that's kind of opposing open and clear, cool, calm, collected communication, especially when it comes to things of value, things of worth. So your own self-worth versus others' worth. Quite literally, it can be finances. So maybe a lot of financial talk or a lot of self-worth talk is happening on Wednesday. It could be, with it combining energy with this Neptune going direct, it could be like, how am I going to finance my dreams? Or how am I going to find myself worthy of pursuing my dreams? A lot of that energy is going to be coming forth on Wednesday, if not a couple days earlier, especially for people that are feeling or that are sensitive to energy. You're going to be feeling this energy typically a couple days before, ahead of time. So it could be really like, can I, do I have enough money? Am I worthy of starting my dream? Or can I borrow other people's money? And am I worthy of borrowing other people's money? Is my business idea or the dreams and aspirations that I have that I want to fulfill sufficient to get somebody to give me a loan, or to, believe in what I have to offer for them to invest in me? Because it's all about worth and financial access and communicating those things. But also there's shakeups within that. So it can be internal shakeups and questioning yourself, but it can also be like shakeups, good or bad. It's just a shaking. So it's like whatever you're shaking loose. Is it a new idea, a new prospect, losing one, gaining one? So just pay attention to that. And then we've got the moon in Virgo squaring Venus in Sagittarius. So those are grounded emotions, and it's at friction with a fiery love. I mean, I'm trying to think of a scenario that this could play out where you're like internally, I want to be loved a certain way, or I want to receive things in a certain way, or I want you to do things in a certain way. And it's all like this emotional internal world. And then someone comes in and is kind of like abrupt and fiery and just like maybe a little messy. And you're just like, what? No, that's not what I was wanting at all. How could you misread this? So yeah, just pay attention to that on Wednesday. We're going to be moving on to Thursday, the 11th. And on that day, we officially have Mercury moving into Sagittarius. And so Mercury is meeting up with Venus and Mars and the Sun, and we're having a full-fledged party in Sag. Sages love a good party. They love to have fun. They are adventurous, and they're just all about like letting it all be, like letting things happen and growing in a direction that's spiritual and philosophical and truth seeking and just like higher education in general. So really an expander position. So that's a really beautiful way for our planet of communication to move on Thursday. And then we've also got the moon opposing Saturn. So Virgo moon, grounded moon, internal world, opposing Saturn in Pisces, which is a grounded dreaminess. And so maybe feeling a little bit of friction on our dreams, a little bit of like, okay, I need to get this in order, this in place to make this go forward. But it shouldn't be too intense. The other thing that's happening before Mercury moves into Sagittarius, Mercury and Scorpio does one last little hurrah for itself, and it's going to try Neptune, which is going direct in Pisces. So we've got watery emotional communication and about our dreams and our delusions. So this to me is giving like you are having conversations with somebody and you're communicating your dreams. It's like you've been internally in your delusional la la land, really working your dreams out, really working them through your mind. And now you're ready to, you know, Neptune is direct now. And so now you're ready to step out and be like, listen to my dreams or listen to how I refined my dreams or listen to my new dreams that I have or these plans that I'm going to follow through on. And you're communicating them out with people and hearing yourself communicate these new ideas or dreams or refined versions of once held dreams that maybe are more approachable this time around or more accessible or more aligned to you. And so with that being said, you're really supported in taking that step and solidifying all that deep internal work that you've been doing for the things that you've been dreaming and talking about them. And as you should. And then we've got Friday, December 12th. We've got the moon squaring Mars. We've got the moon trining Uranus. We've got the moon opposing Neptune. We've got the moon moving into Libra. And we've got the moon trining Pluto. This is all happening from about 6 a.m. in the morning all the way through like 2 p.m. in the day. So this is all like a very intense emotional internal morning. Especially I would say with it being the Virgo moon and working with the planet of taking action and of like shakeups and our dreams and maybe like our delusions a little bit. So it could be an intense morning, but also like you could just wake up feeling like a little weird or a little off with the timing on these. But the good news is that the moon is moving into Libra. So it's giving you more of an internal balance. It's like you could be like waking up and be like, whoa, like, I don't know. I just feel a little off. So Friday would be a good day to, you know, do your practices, ground in, meditate, do your breath work, write your gratitude journal, do a little somatic movement, shake it off, a little yoga. And then the moon moving into Libra is going to help us feel a little bit more balanced. There might be some things coming out, the moon trining Pluto at the very end of the astrological day of aspects around 2 p.m. It could give this, it could be like a little bit of an epiphany of like, oh, wow, I can't believe I didn't know that I feel that way. Or, wow, I need to really work on that, you know, how I feel internally or whatever it is. Or, wow, I don't really do enough to regulate my emotions. Something might come up on Friday, but it's not guaranteed just with Pluto being there. And then on Saturday, we don't really have any major aspects. Hallelujah. And then Sunday, we are going to finish out really strong here. We have got Mars squaring Neptune. So Mars in Sagittarius is squaring Neptune in Pisces. Oh, man. This is like, it's giving same as today on December 8th of squaring Saturn, or Mars, squaring Saturn. But it's more like you can't get out of your head to like take action. It's like you have all these dreams and ideas of the things that you want to do to move things forward, but you just can't seem to get them out of your mind and into like the 3D world. So yeah, not as daddy discipline and like strict and hard. And I don't know, today felt more like Uranus, like a lot of shakeups, but that's just me. I don't know. I really don't know. And then we've got the sun trining Chiron. So we've got the sun doing its damnedest to help you realize where you have wounds in a nice way. And it's saying, hi, I'm shining a candle on this. You should look at this. And you're like, damn, I should look at that. That's pretty bright. I see that. And that is a wound that I have, and I need to work on that. That's how that's playing out. And then I've got the moon squaring Jupiter. So this is giving like not an expansion of our internal world, but more of a restriction of our internal world, where it might feel like, oh, I want to express myself, but there's something holding you back internally from expressing. And then we've got the moon moving into Scorpio. So the moon is entering into a spicy little position, very deep emotions, very aligned for my luteal phase, dare I say. So yeah, feeling deeply, feeling like you want to do some internal transformational work could be available for you on Sunday. And then finally, we've got Mars, the planet of action, moving into Capricorn. And that solidifies the week. Mars moving into Capricorn, that's some grounded action, some moving forward with things in an organized way and having all of your ducks lined up in a row and ready to move forward and unleashing the front lines on your dreams or the things that you want to take action on, and you are moving them forward and you are doing what you need to do in an orderly way, in a logical way. And it can feel a little bit restrictive, especially if you're not typically an orderly person. If you're not an earth sign, you can feel a little bit of like restriction or friction on this, where you're like, I just want to get all this shit done. And I'm usually a whirlwind or the Tasmanian devil. But then it's like this energy of like, no, to take action, you need to be disciplined and you need to have things in order first, or else you can't move forward. Kind of like today on the 8th, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. They're both daddy discipline energy. So love you, Capricorns. Love you, Saturnian ruled people. Mean it. But Lord, is it intense. And you guys can get some things done, that's for sure. But make sure you guys have some fun. We're getting ready to head into Capricorn season, as Mars is the first one to head that way. So then other planets are going to be following through, and we're heading into Capricorn. And so that really is moving forward on all the work that we've been doing this year, all of the deep inner healing, transformational, letting go of people, places, things, ways of being, thinking, all of the ways that you are releasing and have been releasing. It's so that you can move forward in the world, and you're starting to feel this groundedness of moving forward in the world with us moving into Capricorn energy. I want to share some, as we're rounding out the year, more Wee Moon poetry for 2025. There's two different poems here. One is called Project Unknown. Just kidding. Oh, no, wait, it is. Yeah, it is. Project Unknown by Patty Sinclair, written in 2020. It is not whether the chalice is half empty, half full. It is whether one can pour shadow light from both. Okay. And then the next one that I'm going to read to you is called Shell Woman Speaks for the First Time by Anne Filmeyer in 2021. Or Filemyer, Filemyr. I am the undertow dragging you out to sea. I am the belly of a rattlesnake warm against desert sand. I am the April moon rising over the ridge. I am the unruly child throwing a tantrum. I am the fossil at your feet, eagle watching from a high cliff, coyote cry, and devoured rabbit, fungus on dying birch, fly on spoiled meat, a sudden updraft spinning milkweed, paws of stone on sea bottom, fool veering from the path. I am the shadow you cast as you walk toward the sun. I am all that you dream of when you dream all that you are. I am all that you truly need when your heart fully desires. I am what is becoming and what is ending. You see, I am the whole cycle of these things. There is no difference in the deep well between the bright, clear waters of love and the dark, muddy waters of love. No difference between us, my friend. No difference at all. Ooh, that was beautiful. I love that. Okay, I leave you here, cunties. I hope you guys have a beautiful week, and I'm so curious what you think. Put in the comments, like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Email me, DM me. I put all my information in the box below so that you guys can contact me. And yeah, tell me what you'd like to see more of, what you'd like to see less of, how this hit for you, what you might be going through. I'm always so curious how these play out for different people. And so, yeah, keep doing the work, keep showing up. Know that your magic is needed and that you are the only one that has that magic. You and you alone. I've never met another one of you before in my life. And I want to see what you have to offer the world. So keep doing the work you're doing. Show up as the best version of yourself as often as you can. And I will be here holding your hand and walking you home. Much love.